Hello, my name is Claire Chater. I'm a shamanic practitioner and life coach, and I have been releasing old stories to finally clear and heal my body of ulcerative colitis and underactive thyroid. So some of you might have caught any of those stories, and for you this is then an update, and for those of you that hadn't, then welcome to Claire's healing journey. Another big one for me is realizing my self-sabotage and beating myself up, punishing myself, and that programming, and kind of wondering why. And it heightened, how many years ago now? 8 years ago. I had an abortion when I was 25, and I beat myself up and self-sabotaged after that so much for years and years and years. I mean, I don't know if you can call it regret, because I didn't regret it, because I felt like I'd made the right decision, I'd made the right choice. But I was the kid that believed that abortion was awful, that it was murder, that you were killing something. And I was in this situation where I had to make that decision, because the fear and the flip side was, how do I bring up a mentally or physically disabled child on my own? And eventually I did make the decision to have a termination, because I wouldn't have been able to, I didn't feel I was strong enough to bring up a disabled baby by myself. And that was the true fear. And I suppose that's why I beat myself up afterwards for so many years, because I felt like I should have been stronger. And then all I wanted after I'd made that decision was another baby. And I've got a little daughter now. And it just upped the stakes of that pregnancy for me so much, because I was so scared of losing her. I was so scared that there'd be anything wrong, and I was in massive fear the whole pregnancy and the birth. Here she is. But she is well, and she's happy, and she's gorgeous, and I love her so much. So I had a very emotional time, and I fell into, once I'd had Tyler, that I needed to do everything, because if something went wrong, I couldn't give anyone else that responsibility of something going wrong. So I took everything upon myself. I was very closed off. I was sabotaging and I suppose like bullying myself, like, you have to do this, you've got to get it right this time because you effed up last time. And I didn't realise, I thought it was coming from, but I care so much about my baby that, you know, I want to do it all. And there was this in the background, this sabotaging energy, because I hadn't forgiven myself for that abortion. And I was holding all this guilt and shame in my body. And it wasn't until that I was able to vocalize that, tell someone about it, that it was that first stage of it leaving. Because otherwise it might have been what was my thyroid condition. I was eating myself. I was eating myself up. And actually I was sent something the other day that was very, very helpful, reading it for anyone else with thyroid conditions. Did I take... Here we go. I can't really see because of the light. There's a lot of light coming in from the window. So, thyroid, it says, humiliation. I never get to do what I want to do. When is it going to be my turn? And then what you should be saying is, I move beyond old limitations and now allow myself to express freely and creatively. So yeah, I never get to do what I want to do. So I had trapped myself and said, you have to do everything for this baby and blah, 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 and you've got to do it all on your own. And it was like a prison for myself, and I wasn't letting myself, I didn't go to the hairdresser, didn't wear makeup anymore, like I didn't have time to do anything for me. I kind of boxed myself in, didn't allow myself to enjoy my life. It was, I was enjoying the baby and so much love for this baby, but I didn't realise that I was actually imprisoning myself with this, you must get it right this time. Do you know what I mean? And I wasn't letting myself away from the baby to go and get my hair done, maybe to go and get a massage, perhaps to look after me. I didn't do any of that stuff. And I think that's what... So joy alarm! Thank you! Spread joy, 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 joy! At the minute, it's one of our stretch, I suppose, challenges, and I've got 3 joy alarms on my phone, so that music plays 3 times a day, and I invoke joy, wherever I am. It happened at a meeting the other week. It was absolutely hilarious. Sidetracked by that. And yeah, I'm in Stretch 22 with Preston Smiles at the moment, and he is the most amazing human, and if you haven't seen his work, check it out. Preston Smiles. And his wife Alexi, I did the bridge and the bridge extreme with them as well, and now I'm Stretch 22ing with Preston, and it's just, it will change your life. Again, sidetracked. So, self-sabotage, self-beating yourself up. I'm sure everyone's done it at some point, so you can probably relate. But I was doing it for years and years and years after the choice that I made, even though I went, that is the right choice. Because the flip side of it would have been that I wouldn't have been able to cope, that I traumatized and given birth at 25 anyway. But holding guilt and shame is such a low vibration. And I was fobbing myself off, telling myself, but you made the right decision, so it's fine. You don't feel bad about it because you made the right decision. Whereas actually, I was holding guilt and shame. I wasn't able to tell people about it. So releasing that. And I probably should do another shamanic session and more release, because saying it again made me well up. So I think, and every time I say it, I probably get a little bit more to release. I'm going to do a black dispatcho for myself actually, so I will release that, release anything else that needs to be released in there. And if anyone wants to know anything more about shamanic healing, then please do get in touch. Yeah, I offer so many things. Black dispatcho, white dispatcho. You've got to come see me in person for those. A shamanic healing where you're lying down and you can pick a kuya from the mesa. And then I'm also doing shamanic distant healing. Well, it's called life healing. And that's a mixture of shamanic healing Reiki healing, and life coaching. So that will be one-to-ones over Skype or Zoom or whatever you want to use, and we start the distant healing first and then go from there to help you remove obstacles from your life and flip it around. Get on the good side of joy. Notice these things, because you can't necessarily do it on your own. You're thinking, yeah, I do worry, so there must be something there. And if you're worried about money, we work with your budget as well. You know, I do have prices, but if you're really ready and you're really wanting to help, then exactly, I will come and we'll make it work for both of us, and I will work with your budget. So do not worry about that. If you've got any questions, or if you just want to do the application form, dip your toe in the water. I look forward to hearing from you.